Do you have hope that you're getting closer with Mark Richt on the sideline and with the better recruiting classes in recent years of putting those Al Golden years way behind you and getting back to the elite?
Yeah, most definitely. It has been a rough road since then, since those years. But I do think that we are getting back on track to winning, and we know that we can win. We actually kind of expect to win most of the games. So we kind of have a different outlook on it. I do know there are actually a lot of people who are on the other side of the ball who I see actually a lot of people, believe it or not, that aren't a very big fan of Mark Richt. Most exclusively due to the fact of he's calling the plays and everyone wants an offensive coordinator. That's kind of a whole different argument you can get into with that. But I think that we are on the right road. I mean, starting out his first season being 9-4 and then coming up the next season 10-3, even though we ended kind of rough with that bowl game loss and losing several games in a row, I still think I'm noticing improvement year after year. So it's kind of hard to argue with that, in my opinion.
Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, bringing on the best bloggers and broadcasters in the industry to talk up the game we love. We've got Brandon Cooper from College Football Vids on the line, so catch his YouTube channel right here for Miami football coverage. And you mentioned the transition from the first year to second year of Mark Richt, going from 9 wins to 10. If you would just have laid out for Miami fans, okay, you're going to go 10-3. You're going to go to the Orange Bowl. You're going to win the Coastal. You're going to lose the ACC championship game to the team that just won the national championship the year before. They'd probably be like, okay, definite step in the right direction. I'll sign up for that. But just kind of the way it went down with the big 10-0 start, that was a little shaky at times, but the two best teams you played, you dominated in Virginia Tech and Notre Dame. So you showed up for the big games. You get to 10-0. You have the disappointing letdown against a Pitt team that you're obviously much better than. And then it wasn't so much that you lost to Clemson because everybody expected that. But if it would have been a 21-10 game or 27-17 game where you would have competed, maybe that's where the narrative kind of turned on. What are we doing with this offense? We don't have the right quarterback. We don't have the right play caller. We put up a field goal in that game. And then, of course, it gets capped off with the loss to Wisconsin.
Yeah, and you're definitely correct on that. I think that most people will agree when I say that we're probably a year or two ahead of what most people expected. But in my opinion, I think what happened is once we put that beat down on Notre Dame at home, everyone really got just super excited and kind of really just expected much more than we really thought before the season started. And I think everybody honestly got their hopes up and kind of just got them crushed when we lost to Pitt and then in that Clemson game. And I think that they kind of expected more really than they should have. I mean, I'm going to be honest, everybody wants a national championship. Everybody wants to win all of their games, of course. But I think going from 9-4, then going to 10-3, making an appearance in the ACC championship game, honestly, I'm happy with that. Of course, that's not the end goal, but I am happy overall with that result. And I think coming up in this 2018 season, even in just improving on that, even as you mentioned, I'll just be honest, I'll put it out there, moving into the 2018 season, even another ACC championship appearance and making that an actual game versus whoever that is, I still think that's a step in the right direction, even if we don't win it.
What strikes me odd about the season we just recapped is the Notre Dame game, because Miami dominates that game. I'm sure Miami fans, and I know from talking to many of you, just relished in that win because you hate Notre Dame. That's a rivalry that goes back to those great teams in the late 80s. And you just blasted them, just dominated at the line of scrimmage, just were extremely impressive. And then you look at what Notre Dame did the rest of the season. Like, nobody made them look bad. They beat LSU. They beat USC. They beat North Carolina State. They beat a lot of really good teams. They were a really good team, and you guys crushed them. So I don't know. That impresses me, but I also kind of think it was probably an aberration to a certain extent. But going into this season, yeah, that was going to be my question. So you jumped me on that one, and that's a good work out of you, because what do you do from here? Because the leap from what you did last season to actually winning the ACC, considering that Clemson's the big dog on the other side, might be a little bit more of a leap than we could expect or anticipate. But that would be the next jump in terms of something that you could point to in the standings or the scoreboard. But maybe, like you say, a more competitive ACC championship game against what we expect to be one of the best 2 or 3 or 4 teams in the country in Clemson might be a good goal.
Exactly. Yeah. Of course, winning is the end goal. Winning is what we want to do, winning every game. But believe it or not, I would be satisfied with an actual competitive game in the ACC championship. I believe as long as we stay in the talks for the college football playoff and overall we're dominating the ACC, making an appearance in that game, I would actually consider that a successful season. And I would like to add, I think the Notre Dame game, I think there was a little bit of magic on those Miami Knights jerseys, the black. I think we should wear those every game possibly and make all of our games at nights and on prime time. And then I think we'll be good to go.
Well, you came back with those against Wisconsin, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. Yep. You got me on that one.
I was going to call you on that one. But yeah, you got a point. It was an impressive performance that I did not expect in any way. That was complete domination.